Hello, my name is Bhavesh Sharma, and introducing myself with chapter 3 drainage of class 9 geography. There is an introduction slide. Drainage definition. We will study about drainage definitions and various subtopics. Drainage system in India. What are the different river basins? River flowing in India. Then there's the lakes, the like Oxbow Lake, freshwater lakes, and many salty lakes. Important and then important. Then role of rivers in the economy. Lastly, river pollution. First definition. Drainage describes the river system of an area. This means the river course of an area and how the pattern formed by that is known as drainage pattern. Now, the area drained by a single river system is called drainage basin. As we see that along the course of the river, there is an area on either side of the course. This is known as that area drained by a single river system is called drainage basin. Whereas any elevated area such as mountain or upland, highland, which separates two drainage basins is known as water divide. That means a divider dividing two river basins. Now we come with the drainage system in India, that is the Himalayan rivers, which are very comprising the northern part of India, and peninsular rivers, which are covering the mostly the Deccan, not the southern part of the India. There is a difference between these. The Himalayan rivers most are perennial, which means they have water throughout the year. That means they do not depend upon or they do not much depend upon rainfall. While the peninsular rivers are seasonal in nature. That means they are depend upon rainfall. Second point, Himalayan rivers receive water from rains as well as from melted snow from higher mountains where they have their source is light. So, second point of the peninsular river, that they directly depended upon rainfall. Two major rivers, that is Brahmaputra and Indus, origin from north of mountain ranges. That is their origin is mountain only, and the peninsular rivers origin from the western Ghats, that is in the southern India, and flow towards the Bay of Bengal. The last point, rivers or Himalayan rivers have long courses, while rivers have shorter and shallower courses in the peninsula. Now Himalayan rivers, one of the longest river, that is Indus river system in world, with a total length of 2000 kilometers, present in India. Indus river rises in Tibet near Lake Mansarovar, that is the part of China, enters into India in Ladakh Union Territory, where it forms picturesque gorge, that is the deep shallow land due to the erosional activities by the river. Then the tributaries are like Satluj, the Beas, the Ravi, the Chenab, and the Jhelum, in which Jhelum is the longest tributary. And near Mithankot, which these five rivers together join the Indus near Mithankot in Pakistan. Second, the Ganga river system. Source of Ganga is called Bhagirathi. It's fed by the Gangotri glacier. Okay, so the Gangotri glacier is the origin, and joined by the Alaknanda at Devprayag in Uttarakhand, and emerges from mountains to the plains at Haridwar. So the plains, the first Ganga time the Ganga seen on the plains are at the Haridwar in Uttarakhand. Third point, the Ganga is joined by many tributaries like Yamuna, Gagra, Gandak, Kosi, which is also known as Kali Ganga, etc. Length is 2500 km. Farakka in the West Bengal is the northernmost point of the Ganga Delta, where it divides into two rivers, that is the Bhagirathi and Hooghly, and the Meghna. Now we come to the Brahmaputra river system. The river rises in Tibet east of Mansarovar Lake near the Indus Road. It is slightly longer than Indus. On reaching Namcha Barwa, that is a huge dam like structure, it takes U-turn and enters into in Arunachal Pradesh, where it is called the Dihang, and the tributaries of Dihang is Dibang and Lohit, covering the parts of Assam. Now the peninsular rivers, the Narmada basin rises in Amarkantak hills in Madhya Pradesh, Second point, the flows through a deep gorge at the Marble Rocks near Jabalpur. Marble Rocks, which are famous for the in Madhya Pradesh, there is a deep gorge formed by the Narmada Basin, which is a peninsular river. Then second point, the Tapi Basin. This rises in Satpura Range, Madhya Pradesh. Basin cover part of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra. Now the Godavari Basin, largest peninsular river. So this we have to remember. Length equal to 1500 meters. Rises from slopes of the Western Ghats. Area covers part of Maharashtra, MP, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. Also known as Dakshin Ganga. Fourth, the Mahanadi Basin. Rises in highlands of Chhattisgarh. Length is 860 meters. Fifth point, the Krishna Basin. Rises from a spring near Mahabaleshwar. That is the southern India, Karnataka. Length equal to 1400 meters. Sixth, the Kaveri Basin rises in Brahmagiri range of Western Ghats. Length 160 km. And from all the Kaveri and the Godavari has the same origin in the Western Ghats, but flow in different direction, different course. And Godavari is the largest peninsula. The lakes. Most lakes are permanent in India, but some are temporary, which depends upon which revive in rainy season. Different lakes are Oxbow Lake, which formed by the meandering snake-like river due to depositional activity. Second, the salty rivers like the Sambar Lake in Rajasthan, and third, freshwater lakes they are found in mountains, that is Himalayan region in India. Importance is regulate the flow of river, prevent flooding during dry season, maintain water level, used for developing hydropower. Role of river in the economy. Rivers have been of fundamental importance throughout the human history. Water, which is a basic need, is also a basic natural resource. It is used for irrigation, agricultural activities, on which our economy directly depends, that is the crop production. Navigation, in case in transportation of waste products, imports and trading purposes. And hydropower generation, that is electricity generation, which has the utmost importance to the machinery efficiency, etc. Now this is the last slide, river pollution. The growing domestic, municipal, industrial and agricultural demand for water have been rises, which directly depend on river water, which is the chief source of water, but affecting the quality of water, as they are directly influent, directly pour their water into the river, which is bad for the marine life. Second, pollution due to untreated sewage water, industrial effluents, as same as chemicals and untreated sewage, directly hot water directly going to the river water, directly affect the aquatic and as well as animal plants life. Third, there is a concern over rising pollution led to the launching of various action plans, like you are familiar with Ganga Action Plan to clean the rivers. This is a good initiative, and but we have to more concern about more towards various rivers of the India. Thank you.